that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like
Yes.
in its natural, in its
Yes.
most natural form.
Yeah.
I've never had to act like somebody I wasn't. I've just managed to experience two different lives, and it's just me.
I must say that it's so easy to pick up in your music as well, because it's very diverse. You're
Yeah.
not just speaking to one market, and you're trying to channel everybody. So you're channeling the color community, the black community, the Indian community, and you pride yourself in that, in being a Kasi girl and not being like a rapper from the north and just like rapping about the money.
Expensive.
Yes. So tell us about your inspiration when it comes to writing.
When it comes to writing, it's just everything. I've lived in Soweto, in Yeovil, in Aldos.
Where
in,
now? This? Stop right there.
I'm going to.
Woo, check
I'm
it out,
going
getting
to
out.
no. I'm going to be judged
All right.
because of the area
Okay.
Wait.
by some kind of rapper who's going to like. No, I can't tell you guys.
You have to.
have to.
No, I can't
We
tell you
love
guys.
Aldos.
You
I
are
can't-
in the
love
presence
Albert.
of true Aldonians.
Albert.
Why
Okay, cool.
not?
Okay, cool. I have lived in El Paz. I've lived in Kibla Park. I've lived in so many different places.
All right.
And because of that, I've managed to get so many different elements of South African diversity.
Yeah.
And I think the perfect song, was Ice Cream, where I rapped a
Yeah.
bit in Afrikaans, and then I rapped a bit in Zulu, I rapped a bit in Sotho. Everything is just there. And I think my inspiration is from that. Tupac has a saying where he says, "I'm a product of society. Therefore, I'll reflect, on what my realities of society are." And I think that's what I try to do every day
I
in my
love that.
music. I can't. I'm a Kasi girl who went to a Model C school, and I refuse to be normal.
What is Kasi to you?
Yo, Kasi is angidli kota yam, and I'm cool with it. But I like to acquire this young taste in sushi.
Thank you.
At the same time, I've got a wig on, not because I have issues with my hair, but
Yeah.
because I treat my wig like an
Yo, she's a
accessory.
poet.
Yes.
An accessory.
Preach to
It's
the
just an
masses.
accessory.
Yeah.
And yesterday I wasn't wearing my wig. I have natural
Yeah,
hair under it.
yeah.
I have non-white girl problems with my weight, sometimes with my makeup, sometimes, and it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think that's what Kasi is. Kasi is just like, love me in my chaos.
Yeah.
Does it know? So you can't be Afrikaans, bro.
Yeah, I can, but I won't, guys. Please don't
Wat
do
het
this.
al praat?
Don't
Wat het al
do
praat
this.
pa?
Don't do
Praat
this.
pa
Don't do this.
Afrikaans of
I'll explain
Engels?
to you. I'll explain to you why I'm not going to speak Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
Right? I'm not going to speak Afrikaans because there's an aunt of mine who's listening.
Okay.
Who feels like every time I get into this element,
Yeah.
I am taking. I'll explain something else. My parents have divorced.
All right.
Okay.
So it's like a war on war. So like it's a war on culture. It's a war.
Yeah.
So every time I do something, I have to do it in the middle
Shame,
to not
man.
offend anyone. And I know both sides are listening, and I love you all very much. From Granny Liza to who else to do Nganthanda Noenge. I love
That's
you
like a
guys.
Liza and
I'm not
Elke
gonna. I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
So yes, shout out to
Alright.
Auntie Tutu.
Okay, Auntie Dudu. It is 20. Like, no, man, no, how can... You're actually going through a very tough family time.
That is really normal.
Not really. It's
That
so
is
normal.
really normal.
And I'm so glad that you're joining us in Kofifi, because Kofifi Land is all about diversity. You know the
Yeah.
Kofifi story, days before the bulldozers came, the interracial. So I like your story, and I would like you to stick around to please give us your frustrations. Huh? And it's just gone 4:30.
Journalists walk out of ANC media briefing. Stay tuned for the full bulletin with myself, Leanne Willemse, at 5 only on Kofifi FM 97.2.
Traffic update on Kofifi FM.
Taking a look at what's happening out on your roads this afternoon. Out in Honeydew, Bayes-Naudé Drive westbound, there is heavy traffic towards Chew Street. Out in Alberton, Voortrekker Road, traffic lights not working at the N12 highway. And out in Little Falls, Hendrik Potgieter Road westbound, heavy traffic through to Little Falls. And out in Bruma, stationary vehicle near Elm Road, so do expect queuing traffic in that region. Do populate us with any more of your local traffic updates on the number 071 425 9577.
Remember, we do have coming in DJ
Brad's La Music.
Brad's. Is his full name Bradley?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You've been talking, and I so love the story. I've been in and out. What were you talking about? Because something caught my attention.
Something caught my attention. I'm not too sure if G is liking sport at all. Favorite sport?
Sometimes I'm a football fan. Sometimes on a good day I watch rugby. No, I'm just everywhere, but I just haven't been able to follow any championship things and
At school?
Stuff.
Which sport did you do?
netball. I actually played for Gauteng, the under 19 at the time.
Wow.
And then I got a bursary and my mom wasn't having it. So I had to go to Wits, and I'm happy with the decision she made. I'm happy. But yeah, I was a big netball fan.
All right.
All right. Okay, she strikes me as a netball player.
Yeah, no.
How high can you jump?
You don't. I
You
was
don't know the
center.
half of it.
I was like,
You don't know the half of it.
Yo,
Are you colored?
I'm pink. I'm green. I don't know
What
what
color
I
do you
am.
want me to be?
I'm green.
I'm whatever you want me to
I'm
be.
whatever. Like
Uh,
I'm so. I think, every time like racial talk comes up, I get the most annoyed because it's just so difficult to ever classify people, and I don't think we should even be doing that, to be honest. The truth is, we'll always be different. I don't believe in ideas around humanism because it's impossible,
Right.
but we can coexist in our difference and be okay with that. And I think that's what leaders in power get wrong,
we spoke
So they're
about
kids like
that
me.
yesterday.
Yeah, so there are kids like me who are like the extreme oros dilution, and people will still come to try and place tags on you.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, dude, I'm South African. I'm way past this.
Yeah.
I could like be Trevor Noah's sister right now. And
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
And
You know
that
what I
is and that is why we are so happy that all pitches are green in color. Over to you, Pasha.
Yeah, starting off with the South African footballing news. Well, the Ugandan Football Association have made contact with former Polokwane City head coach Luke Emil in regard to the manager's head coach role at the FA. Now, the current coach Mitjo Strodetovic is set to resign and take over at his former club Orlando Pirates in the coming days, leaving the Cranes coachless. Now, the Belgian Emil has confirmed that he has spoken to the Ugandan FA regarding the post and is now waiting to see if the efforts is concrete, with the exit of Mitjo somewhat imminent. And moving on to international footballing news, well, Borussia Dortmund winger Christian Pulisic has fired a warning to Bayern Munich ahead of the start of the Bundesliga campaign. Carlo Ancelotti's side have won the championship every year since Dortmund won back-to-back titles under Jurgen Klopp in 2011 and 2012. However, the 18-year-old American international believes his side are well placed to dethrone the Bavarian giants this summer. And moving on to Spain, well, Barcelona superstar Neymar has been involved in a training ground bust-up with a teammate as rumours about his future at the Catalans continue to swirl. The Brazilian star has been linked with a world record £196 million move to PSG, with the 25-year-old 90% certain to leave the club. And Neymar was seen running towards a teammate and the pair appear to kick one another, and before Sergio Busquets steps in as a peacemaker and separates them, and training was cancelled because of the incident. That Neymar angrily took off his bib and stormed off the pitch. And looking at the weekend fixtures, well, in terms of sports, well, the Cullen Black Label is playing tomorrow. Kaizer Chiefs are playing against Salon Pirates, while the Emirates FA Cup, Sevilla are hosting RB Leipzig of Germany, and Arsenal are playing host to Benfica. And the Super Rugby semi-final for this weekend, it's a huge one. The Hurricanes are playing against the Lions at 2:30 tomorrow, while the Crusaders are playing the Chiefs at 8:25. And that's all we have for you for sports. And Uncle Joseph will have more on Monday for the sports.
And I can see you want to pitch again. Pitch?
No, I do not want to
for
pitch.
Pasha's job?
No, I do not want to pitch. I'm just happy that I'm able to watch another Lions game this weekend. And versus the Hurricanes at 2:30. I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that one.
All right. Are you ready, Gigi, to get married? I don't know why I'm asking you that question.
Get what?
Get what?
I'm like
No.
20-something. You're not thinking, not even thinking about it.
I'm so far from that. I need to start by getting a boyfriend. Then I can get married.
Okay.
Right now, no.
Not now.
And
Yeah.
this is something that baffles me, right?
Yeah.
So we have the birthday on the 7th.
Yeah.
And you just thought, okay, let me just fool around and play around with South Africans as a whole.
Uh-huh.
You post a picture of your ring finger on Instagram, and everybody just shut down for a whole 2 days talking about, could it be, is it true? And I was just like, honey, why you gotta do this to us? Why
No.
so young? Why? And then news breaks out. Bona, it's a fallacy, it is a lie. It's not happening. It's not happening. And the reason why it did not happen is simply because you were promoting
My new single.
your new single.
Which is
Lobola.
Tell us
Exactly.
about the track.
Lobola. Firstly, that was a very uncomfortable thing for me to do.
Really?
The ring is actually my mom's. My mom is happily married now. Amazing stepfather. I love him to bits.
Beautiful.
And I used her ring. Did my nails for the picture.
Yes, we
Took
saw
the
that.
picture. And I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it, but it was amazing. Like in terms of the marketing, that South Africa stopped.
Yes.
And the single features Maraza. It's just around how a lot of people believe that kids my age are so uninterested in tradition and culture. And I decided to create the song about a young woman living in 2017 who wants to get married at some point, who wants Lobola to be paid, not for its material, not for material reasons, but rather just to be introduced into that rites of passage appropriately. So Lobola, I mean, that's the one.
And it's coming up. Number
23, yeah?
Number 23.
Globally.
Number 23.
That is brilliant.
That is-
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And I just don't know when it happened.
Okay, and the local
'Cause-
hip hop charts?
The local.
You are at
local
19.
19.
and then international 23.
No,
Get
that's
out.
beautiful.
Get
Get
out.
out of
Imagine.
here.
Get out. So that I know, hey. So that has to be playing into your campaign that you've got going.
No, definitely.
And how's that been doing?
Gigi goes gold. Like I can't wait to have that plaque. Like it's like super close. For Gigi Lamayne to be the first female in African history, first female in hip hop in African history to go gold. We've never had.
Wow.
And
Great, brilliant.
I remember last time I was here, I exclusively announced it.
Yeah.
That I wanted to go out and do that because I just feel like we're always so apologetic and modest, and we're not aggressive enough when it comes to our crafts. And I think there had to be someone to do it, like to say, you know what, we see all these guys getting their gold plaques,
Yes.
and we need a female in hip hop to do it as well. So that's what I decided, and I was scared.
Wow.
I
All right,
was
Gigi,
scared.
someone sent us an SMS here. If you 071-425-9577. Female, I want to be a rap artist. I'm 18. Yeah, bro.
I'm 18. I think you need to study something, either to enhance that or just do something else you like as well while you develop your talent. And then once you're done with that, you can use that to be able to scaffold you into the industry, because then you're able to make informed decisions. It's not as a backup. It's for you to be able to make informed decisions
Yes.
about your career.
Yes.
And do something that's close to home. So for instance, with me, I studied media and anthropology, and it's helped a lot. I'm starting a foundation, the
Look
Gigi
at
Lamayne
that.
Foundation.
Look at that.
And we're going to go out and help young girls. And I hope you'll come.
Of
to speak
course.
to the girls.
Of course.
And I mean, there's going to be a whole lot of things attached to it. I've spoken to Tandega. She's the head of my choreography. There'll be a dance academy thing running. A few
Nice.
workshops with the girls.
Beautiful.
And a few of my Vitsis coming in as well to be big sisters to speak to these young girls. So yeah.
All right,
love
17
that.
before 5.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I actually need to tell you about a little campaign that's happening on the youth slot.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, with your campaign, Gigi Goes Gold.
Yes.
Right? Obviously, gold is the color.
Yes.
Does this have any significance to you, like, outside of music, the color gold?
Wow, that's such a deep question. I don't know. I think it's in reverse, actually. All that glitters isn't gold, in the sense that I think to the fans, everything that you see that's hyped up isn't real. They're young kids like myself, like a lot of people who started this journey genuinely, authentically, wanting to do things right and being a voice for young kids. And I hope that we understand in our efforts, like for instance, with going gold and taking so long, I could have simply gone to someone and asked them to buy all the copies of my album. Like it's been speculated in the industry
Yes,
that some
yes.
people do. But I
Yes.
wanted to do it authentically.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's kind of weird how Gigi Goes Gold, all that glitters isn't always gold.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes,
paradox in
yes.
itself. But I
Yeah.
think for me, that's what I want youngins to know, that if it comes easy, it's going to go easy.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you need to work, grind. And that's why we're going to grind. We're going to sell those copies authentically. And we are very close. For anyone listening, we're very close to going gold.
If it comes easy, it's going to go easy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got to say that, you were a strong voice when, there was all of these protests happening, student protests, that is,
Yikes.
Fees Must
Yeah.
Fall. You were quite a voice. You also really wrote something and then also released it, performed it, What are you passionate about right now?
Yo, I'm passionate about. I don't know if any of you watched the BETs and the amazing female host at the BETs. I forgot her name, but she's a comedian. I am so pro that. I am
Okay.
pro the woman of color doing big things. And I think, coming from the Fees Must Fall protest and having to be a voice like that, I was scared. I don't know, half the time you act so irrationally and you don't know why you're doing something
Yeah.
until you understand that there's so many young people looking up
Yeah.
to you. I think all of a sudden, growing up around my mom, around my granny, around so many diverse yet strong women, nobody's telling that story unapologetically. And that's what I want to do. And I think for some reason I've levitated towards trying to help people. So I mean, not just people, but women. I've adopted a whole situation of wanting to have an all girl band. So I've got female dancers, a female DJ,
Love that.
female band, Gigi Lemaine, you know, getting females working together. But at the same time, I think it's just like really pushing women of color right now.
All right.
Lovely.
Okay. Right. Just in conclusion,
Yes.
Gigi, we have many challenges, especially in our communities. Drugs, drug abuse is a
Yeah.
serious concern, especially young girls your age
Yeah.
and younger. Some girls young as from the age of 8, 9, 9 years old. What do you want to say to our youth
Yo,
who are addicted, our addicts?
at some point, you know, you have to let go of the letdowns. You know, I always believe that these things stem from somewhere, from a pain that is deeper than what everybody out there is thinking, how everybody goes around judging you for where you're at. And I always believe that the greatest thing for any young girl is to be able to tell a success story and to be able to say #I lived.
Yes.
And for me, I think that's where it's at. You need to do this for yourself, you know. My brother was an addict. We grew up a very tough life. Half the time we were scared of him. And today he's reformed. He runs one of my Uber businesses.
How long has he been clean?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, and he runs one of my
Congratulations.
Uber businesses, and I'm so glad that he's able to talk about it in the open. And I mean, I've seen his life turn around, not for us, but for him as well. You know, and there's not going to be any other chance you will get to be you. So you need to be that rock star. You need to turn your life around. And unfortunately, you're the only person who can do it. So,
# you have lived.
yes.
Love
Loved it.
love
In
that.
conclusion?
In conclusion, man, I just gotta say, continue doing what you're doing, man. All the best when it comes to going gold. We
Yes.
out there. We with you,
You guys better
mommy.
come. I'm actually very mad at Kofifi because I invited you guys. No, I
Hold
invited.
on.
Yes, what's it called? Blanket punishment. That's what they call it, right?
No, but you can't
when
do that
one person
though,
does something,
Gigi.
all of you must suffer.
No,
So-
but because no.
Why?
Blanket punishment.
Okay, blanket punishment. We take it on.
the first leg of the tour, I invited you guys. Nobody came.
Okay, can I say that I was at least at Nasrec when you were performing?
Yay! Oh my goodness, were
Yes,
you there?
yes, I was.
Shout out to you, girl.
Thank you, honey.
Okay.
Yes.
But the second leg of the tour, I really would like you guys to come through.
Done.
All right.
Done.
Done.
Guest list,
We're
just
gonna
be
be there.
there
So
when
they-
we do it, please.
I'm there already.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I'll give my
was-
personal email, okay?
Okay,
Personal
cool,
email.
cool.
It was such a pleasure having you. Now
you
I've
so
been
much for
listening so
having me.
much and I've learned so much from you. I love
Yeah.
the way you think and you're really going to go far.
Also, just for me
Yes.
to say in closing, I know you might not have enough time, but Kofifi FM has played such a pivotal role in my career. You guys, one of the first radio stations to break ice cream. Every time I come back here, I feel like it's a signature sort of like charm situation. Every time I come back here, I almost feel like I'm getting another charm to put on my bracelet
Oh, look
to
at
go out and
that.
do great things.
Appreciation.
So next time I come back here, I have to come back with a gold plaque. Otherwise, I'm not coming back. So I just want to
No,
thank you
don't
guys
say
for constantly supporting me. And I mean, it's weird, but I just feel like this is a radio station where I actually feel like I belong. And every time I get here, I get to speak about real life experiences, not the usual, how old are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you see
you know what I'm saying?
yourself in
Like-
5 years from now?
5 years from now, I have to
No,
be.
that's one of the cliche
I have to be
questions.
top 5. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. No,
I was, okay, cool. Okay.
See you that
Top,
trained.
you know what I'm saying? Top 5 female philanthropists in Africa.
Get
Wow,
out.
philanthropist, thank you very much. It
Beautiful.
was
Love
really
it.
a
Having you
great
guys.
pleasure having you,
Thank
and
you.
we'd like to have you back.
Thank you so much.
All right, it is 10 minutes before 5.